Make it firing number 2 for the New York Football Giants. Are the Rams the best team in football and Super Bowl bound? And how about them Cowboys with the Cowboy-sized comeback? All that and more coming up next. It's the Manchild Show with Boy Green. We start right now.
Let's go! It's time for the talk to you. Cause Manchild is born, it's all we're gonna do. If Boy Green is always on the scene, it was gonna always bring to the live streaming. So get ready, get ready, cause here they come.
All right, not even the official Black Monday, but it is for us Giant fans. As another one bites the dust, another one bites the dust. This one, the defensive coordinator, Shane Bowen. Some might say he had it coming, as they say. The defense has just not gotten the job done this year, whether it's under Brian Dable or now under Mike Kafka, the interim head coach. So Kafka and Kafka alone, and he was out there and then speaking to the media about this, said, I made this decision. This was my decision. This did not necessarily come from ownership. This came from me. I decided I wanted to wait, being the abrupt nature in which I was hired, and make an evaluation of everyone on my staff in due time. And I guess he has seen enough because the Giants, Boy Green, have blown a few leads this year, you might say. And we remain a 2-win team who currently would be picking second if the NFL draft were today. We'll see how that all plays out. There are a lot of teams getting close to wins. One got a win of the dredges of the league. So that thing will shift and move, and there'll be some changes, I'm sure, before we get to the end of the season in terms of who's picking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably all the way out to number 10. Boy Green, good morning. Happy Monday. It's our live show again, and it is the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital. Welcome aboard for all of you coming into the room. Jump right into the comments if you want. Ask questions, make statements, speak to each other, do whatever you like. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing great. And shout out to our friends over at Boxstrap. Appreciate you supporting our program here today. And I just got back from all the travel, and I'm here at the house for less than 24 hours before I immediately travel again. So there's a lot going on, constantly moving. But hey, in our digital content creation world, we always got to stay on our toes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess, before we get into all the news of the day, starting with Shane Bowen and his firing by the New York Football Giants. So how was the trip? We saw pictures. We have plenty of shorts, folks. If you haven't gone into our YouTube channel under our shorts, you can check out. Paul was sending me videos, and I was posting them as quickly as I could and getting them up, whether it's the player walk through the quad, day and night shots of Touchdown Jesus. There was one really cool one. You'll have to freeze up the video if you watch it, but Paul got a shot of the band post game. So Notre Dame has demolished Syracuse 70-7, and the band marches back through the quad after the game, and Paul and his pop were there. And Paul just shot a little clip of it as he was moving between all the people, because people line up. It's hard to get in the front. He had a shot, this beautiful night shot of Touchdown Jesus, like glowing in the distance. I was like, oh, that's such a cool shot, kind of between the shoulders of people. There's Touchdown Jesus, and the band is playing as they're walking off to victory. Very, very cool. Of course, we saw the grotto.
Yes.
We got to see the band on the field, some fun pageantry during the game. It was it looked like you guys did a lot, and it just looked like a blast. And I think seeing Notre Dame through your camera, through you being there, and then sending this back, I was just like, wow, this really does look like the movie Rudy. Like, look at that brick. That's the exact brick. Or look at that tunnel. I remember when Rudy walked through that tunnel, it looked exactly the same. Remember when the black guy, what was his name? He had a great name.
You're talking about the
janitor. Whoa, what's his name?
Yes.
I can't think of his name right now. He has a great name. The character's name, not the actor's name. The character's name. Debo or
Fortune you're talking about, right?
Fortune. Yes, Fortune. Yeah. And he walks up to Fortune, and Fortune is on the ladder, like, I don't know, he's painting the goalpost or something.
He is painting the goalpost.
And that's when he gives him the key to the place to sleep. He needs the place to sleep.
But then he denies it, saying, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know anything about it. Got know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that moment, he walks out of that tunnel, and you walked through that tunnel, with all the beautiful banners above of all the national championships. and just there you are. You're like on the field.
Yeah.
Like it's cool what Notre Dame does. I love that if you get in there early, that they allow you access.
Yeah,
They
I didn't
allow
even
you
know that.
to walk down on the field, like to
Yeah.
the edge of the field. Take pictures there. See
Mhm.
the stadium, how the players and the coaches see the stadium. Really, really cool stuff. But I shouldn't be sharing it all. What did you think of it all? You were the
Yeah.
one who experienced it.
Well, I will say at the end of the game, the crazy part was so you're leaving, right? The game's over, you walk out, and then through like the gate, the marching band is coming. They're going hup 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 hup. They're going through and they're playing while they're
Mhm.
going. And there's for some reason there's some level of traffic, so they have to stop. So and it's a massive band, so they're coming out forever. And then they stop and they're running in place as they're stopping and they're still playing the music. So it was just sort of because there was something blocking the roads. They had to stop and they kept going. They kept playing like the victory march and stuff. So I was getting the camera shot going all the way back of like the people going, bum, 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 bum. And then we're waiting. And then once it was going, they go up, 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 up. And they just keep going. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And yeah, the thing I didn't, well, I'd never been to Notre Dame ever. I knew Touchdown Jesus existed. So I saw it during the day, but I didn't know they had like spotlights, to your point, that light up the sky. It's like, I can't even think of another structure that would represent it in the same way of any city or something, but it's just, which I guess is probably on purpose.
It's almost godlike. Yeah. It's just like, wow, that's the way you want to light up Touchdown Jesus. It's 100%. So cool. It's like some bluish lights that they had on. Again, go back and look at the video that I posted in the shorts, folks, on the marching band after the game. There's only one of them. And then when, and it's scrolling, just pause it and you just see this shot of Touchdown Jesus in the distance. I was like, that is cool. I want to be there. That's so cool.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'm going to have to go through my phone because, like I said, of all the whirlwind nature of me being at my house for less than 24 hours and then jumping in the car and driving more, I have to go back through the phone because there's more pictures and videos and things I'm sure I haven't even posted or shared anywhere on any social media yet. And I'm sure I have a shot of the night shot of Touchdown Jesus. It's beautiful. So, it was awesome, especially seeing the Rudy movie. I had watched it. It's not available. I didn't know this. It's not available for free anywhere. So for the first time in like 10 years, 15 years, I had to rent a movie.
I could have gave it to you. I have it on DVD.
I'm sure I have it on DVD somewhere in the house, but it was just spur of the moment. So I'm just like, let me rent a movie, which again, I haven't done since like the 90s of Blockbuster days. Mm-hmm. So that was nice to go back there and rent a movie, but it was beautiful. And again, just seeing it and immediately following through the grotto, which is beautiful. And now, in the old days in the movie Rudy, like to grab a candle and light it, you have to pay money, cash. There's like a little drop box for your cash. Nowadays, it's all digital. You scan a QR code and you give it, but it just like in that moment, I'm like, wow. We talked about with Bud a week ago, leading into the Notre Dame game in 2014. So 11 years ago, they removed the grass on the field. It's all turf now. So there's a few things that you kind of go, that were like original OG things that are not, but I get it. You have to get with the modern times. Like the tunnel has all these neon. You're like in a nightclub. If you saw the video, which I saw on the MC Show digital page too, that there's just these rainbow colored streaming lights as you're seeing the national championship banners. I got 11 of those suckers and all the accolades and everything. And those obviously did not exist in the past. It was just a tunnel that you just blitzed through. So it was an unbelievable experience. Sorry for Syracuse fans around here. That was one of the biggest losses in program history, but it was exciting for Notre Dame fans. That's for sure.
Yeah, and all those push-ups being done in the crowd too. They put people up on their shoulders and they do those
for every point scored. Oh my god,
that was a lot of push-ups.
You said it was 20 degrees.
Like, after that is now how many push-ups? Because you do it.
They said 300 something
amount of points, right? So
right, yeah.
Oh, mamma mia, that was not fun for Syracuse fans. That's for sure. Right. In a down year, things just got a lot worse on national television. But for the Notre Dame experience, you may not have gotten a dynamic game, but you got a good game for the home team. There's nothing but, everybody's celebrating before the game, during the game.
The victory chant was great. I heard that a lot. Yeah.
Just no criticism whatsoever. But it really is cool to see how Notre Dame, just from pillar to post, puts on the production known as a football game.
Tradition. So many tradition things they do.
It just breathes of tradition. And it's interesting and there's pageantry and it's just a blast. And then you're done with the game. You think, we just go home now. No, the band's marching back through the quad and you got more pageantry, more people hanging out. It's really cool. It's very different then I would say the South does it, which is also unbelievable. I mean, you go to Alabama, go to Auburn, Georgia, pick one of those schools way down south, LSU, and just see how they do it. I mean, they roll up, they close down the streets, the businesses shut down, they border up. Let's go. Everybody goes to the game. They're there many hours before. The tailgating's unbelievable. Again, they have their traditions too, but Notre Dame is not a Southern school. They're in South Bend, Indiana, and yet they have this unique thing to them that really makes them stand out. And it really should be, regardless of whether you like Notre Dame or not, folks. And I know there are plenty out there and going, I stand those guys. That should be a bucket list item for any sports fan. It's just they do it differently. It's cool, and you're walking in the footsteps of legends. Walking through that tunnel, you're walking through the footsteps of legends. The locker room, the sign, touchdown Jesus himself. Legends have walked there before. It's just very cool. There's no getting around it. And Notre Dame, because it goes back so long, one of the first colleges out there in the college football scene, you can't get any more traditional than that.
And I would say the last thing here is that if you go to the Packers Stadium, and it rings true for Notre Dame. I've never been to Lambeau, but that's on a football bucket list too.
People say
they have a sign. They have a sign on their wall. Today is someone's bucket list, and it's cool that Notre Dame people, and it's interesting. And I would think some Notre Dame people, right, that go through the same rigmarole of all these people coming through and saying, "Oh my God, it's my bucket!" Like they'd get annoyed with it or bored. Like
here come the tourists again. Yep.
Right. The employees, here we go. Yeah, okay, pal, it's your first time seeing this, but no, they really did a really good job of the Notre Dame employees, and they have them everywhere, spewed throughout all the places to give you. This is the importance of the Newt Rockne statue here. So their information for, like tour guides and stuff, but that they make it a cherished experience. They know that it's your first time and they say, know what? I mean, we're going to make it the greatest.
It's like when you train the employees, you have to just put it into their minds that, remember, you've done this tour 150 times. The 151st one you do, while to you, it might be, oh my God, if I, have to say these words again, I mean, I've memorized this whole thing. I don't even need to look at the cue cards anymore. Remember that there are members in your group that day. It is their first time. Mm-hmm. So you have to make it feel like it's your first time every time you deliver that little tour guide speech and you tell us about the different things, share your personal stories, and make everyone feel like $1 million, because for many people, as you said, this is their bucket list and they might only be there once. They might only be there once. I'm going to get there, I'm sure. I have been to the Notre Dame campus, but not for a football game. I will get there, and I will probably do it once. I doubt I will go back. There are other things I want to do. I want to go to Augusta. I want to do I have other things I'm going to do. I'm going to spend my money on other things, but I will do that once because it's just what it is. It's just Notre Dame. You just have to do it once if you care about sports. And you have the means to do it. You should do it. So
So that's what I want to give.
While you're out there, Big Al was at the game?
I did not. He said he was out there, and then he was tailgating in a certain spot. So we didn't run into each other, but
Big Al.
But shout out to him. But I am happy for those two things. First off, the employees were terrific that they treated it like it was their first time ever doing it, even if it may have been their 2000th time. And my pop, again, there was these courtesy carts, which were spewed everywhere. Awesome. Again, the Notre Dame campus is massive. And I don't mind walking. We got a lot of walking, and I had probably 10, 15,000 steps from all the walking around we're doing. But it was convenient to go because, like, the cart drivers know exactly where they're going to jump to the grotto.
Just self-cart you around. That's fantastic.
100%. So to this or to that was great. But my pop, when we were taking all these pictures, right? You're taking pictures of the legendary statues or us together in front of events, that a few times we took a picture of these courtesy cart people, because that's a story. And he was saying the same thing of like, wow, there was a funny guy who picked us up. And I said, excuse me, sir, because they just wait for you. It's a one-way stop. So they don't like travel you around and then wait for you and say, hey, come back in. It's a one-way trip. And then you have to find another courtesy cart person. Right. And I bring up this guy who's just sort of sitting there looking up at the sky. And I'm like, excuse me, sir, would it be possible if we sort of hop on, you could take us here? He's like basically anything's possible, son. I'm like, all right. And so we hop in, and I'm sitting next to the guy. My dad's sitting in the back of this cart, and he's like, "Oh, you're Notre Dame guys." So they're like, "Yeah, we're here for Notre Dame, yeah, for sure." And he says, "Well, if you were Syracuse guys, I could stop this cart right now." And he was just cracking jokes and he was being funny. He's like 80, and it was just hilarious. So he
That's
just
awesome.
made it a great time. And like I said, as soon as we got off the cart, me and my dad would take a picture real quick of whoever the cart person was because they all had fun stories or again tour guides of statues and stuff. So yeah, they did a terrific job. So I highly recommend it to anyone out there in the universe.
And your dad has never been, right?
No, he has
He
never
hasn't.
been. So
Okay.
this was
I see
both
he's
of our
already
first
I
time.
see he's already popping into the comments, so I'll throw up his comment here. Thank you, Big Paul, for this.
Yeah,
That's that line from Rudy when the
correct.
father,
Gets
walks up
inside the
to the
stadium right
stadium.
before Rudy's
He's this
game. Right.
massive Notre Dame fan, and then this is the most beautiful sight these eyes have ever seen. It's a very poignant moment in
Yeah.
that movie, and it's just a poignant moment in life. And I'm sure your dad feels it the same way, even though he's using a movie line here. That's just it's cool. And I know your dad is a lifelong Notre Dame fan,
Right.
and so this was his first time for a football game.
Yeah.
So that's genuinely cool. I did get a peek. I know you guys did a Boy Green Daily that morning. And I was like, I got to get a peek at this. I got to get a peek. And the two of you were doing it together. I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Right.
The old man and the son. And then this is their first time. And so that was awesome. So
my dad will be happy to know.
Congrats to both of you.
I did not treat him. So right. So that line gets read, right? This is the most beautiful sight these eyes have ever seen. And then the son goes, come on, Dad. Because he's annoyed because he's the older brother of Rudy for chasing his dreams. Come on, be more realistic. And so I did not give him that business when we were there. I happily.
The father was feeling it in that movie, and rightly so. He was really, really moved. They didn't think his son could do it, and there he was. His son is the guy that got him to the stadium. Otherwise, that guy probably never gets to the stadium. His
correct,
age,
right? He was comfortable watching it at home,
right? And just like I can watch it from the. I don't got to spend the money. I don't got to make the trip. I'm getting old now. I don't really want to get on a plane or get in a car for a long drive or whatever. And worth it. Worth it, right? So worth it.
Yeah, I know we're going to go into a lot of other stuff, but I would just say the how it all set up, right? Where we went from the airport to these places, we just had time to drive, like from our hotel to the football stadium, from the airport to this. So we just had time to drive. And we got to talk about sort of the theme of Rudy, which I think can it goes far beyond the movie of chasing the dream. Rudy could have easily just worked at the job that had been provided from family to family to family, to not chase it. That's a convenient thing to do. And he, again, for anyone who's never seen it, right, he could have wifed up and had kids and went to this house. He just went, I'm going to chase this thing after a tragic passing. Again, you guys can see the movie. I won't give you the full plot, but the fact of the matter is we just talked about that a lot, about chasing your dream and just getting off the mat and giving it a whirl, whether you make it or you don't make it. The fact that you tried to do it. And for me, my Rudy would have been running on the football field, but the next closest thing is doing all this stuff to be able to talk about sports. So everyone has different visions of whatever that dream is. So that's a pretty cool thing to take away. We had a lot of time to have some of those deep, thought-provoking thoughts in between all the Notre Dame trips, which was cool.
And I think cool also is the fact that the time of year that it is, and this is when football is played anyway, but we're a week from Thanksgiving, and it's or less than a week from Thanksgiving, right?
Right. Yeah, it's this week.
Yeah, it's this week. So, like we're right on top of Thanksgiving, and like, you and your dad get to do this, and it is to me, if you could do it in a family kind of environment, whether it's just with your dad and your grandfather or whatever, like make it a cross the generations thing. I was lucky enough before my dad passed a couple of years ago to have a couple of opportunities to play golf on a golf course with my father and my son.
So cool.
So I'm smack in the middle of all that. And that was just cool. Like, I was really trying to there's just some dopey round of golf that didn't mean anything, and my dad's not even a particularly good golfer. But just I wanted to get the two of them with me on a golf course and just walk down the fairways together. I was just like, this is a beautiful moment. Like, I gotta make this happen. And I want to savor it. And I'm going to take some pictures. I'm just going to want to remember this moment when, 3 generations of Lurches are here together, it's just kind of cool. So you got to take advantage of those moments. So I'm glad you and your dad got to do it together, because I think that's really cool. You get to do it Thanksgiving week, essentially, which is even cooler. So yeah, just a lot to be thankful for. So that's a beautiful thing that you guys did. And thanks for sharing it with all of us, for sending back all those pictures and those videos. I know it's a pain in the neck when you're trying to just enjoy yourself to have to shoot video of stuff. I'm like, oh, send me some more stuff. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm annoying you. I'm like, oh, I hope I'm not annoying him. I want him to enjoy his trip, but I wanted our viewers to get a slice of it too, because I think it's really, really cool. So you should keep sharing stories on your show, and if we have more time, we can certainly in the future share more stories on our show.
Yeah, and this will be the last piece. It's just when you're talking about all those different generations together. Unfortunately, my grandfather's no longer with us. We recently lost him, and but it was always cool and there's a picture that I'll show it in a second. It's me, my grandfather, and my father all together, celebrating life and everything else with my grandfather there, and it's always in this top corner up here. And that's 4 generations, because I'm holding Zariah Luna, my daughter, up here. So
very cool.
Look at that.
Yeah, baby.
Come on, man.
Look at that. That's awesome.
That's unbelievable that we all get to be here for this and have that many generations.
That's great.
So,
that's great.
So always, family.
Yeah, that makes the world go round, right? So I hope all of you do have good families. And if you don't, there are always friends that can make up for that and be part of your family, especially during these holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Don't ever feel like you got to be alone. There are lots of people that would love to share their traditions with you. I have had some holidays over the years where I remember I got stuck up here during college because I was doing sports stuff and, was required to stay. And my family, I'm like, I'd never been away from my family for Thanksgiving, and then I found a group of friends and we did something and it still felt like Thanksgiving. So
Friendsgiving.
You never bother anybody. You're never bothering anybody by, if you don't have somebody for a given holiday, asking in, you got to be a little forward sometimes, but asking, most people don't think of it. And then, and they would love to have you. They would love to have you. Come on. We all have extras that come to our events. So, and those people make it really, really interesting. All right. I'll tell you what, let's just take advantage here of a perfect moment to take a break. We'll take a quick 30-second break. We're going to learn a little bit more about our friends from Box Drop, Syracuse Mattress and Sofa. I was just seeing Paul. You're going to see him in the commercial, the owner, also named Paul. That makes 3 Pauls on this show. And he was telling me he's the sofas are going out the door like there's no tomorrow. He was like, wow, I got to get some more sofas in. I was like, yeah, what's this big hole here? So he was ordering in some new sofas, and he saves you a ton of money on mattresses too. So let's just take 30 seconds, learn a little bit more about our friends at Box Drop. We'll come back and we're going to get into Monday morning quarterbacking, everything in the NFL. We're going to zip through that in the next 45 minutes. All right, stick around. Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital right here. Considering that we sleep nearly 1/3 of our lives, buying the right mattress is essential. At Box Drop Syracuse Mattress and Sofa Outlet, you'll get a unique experience, one that saves you 30 to 70% off retail prices on top-of-the-line mattresses like Sapphire Sleep. At Box Drop, you'll schedule a mattress fitting appointment and get one-on-one service directly with Paul, the owner. No middleman. Family-owned, huge savings, no-pressure sales designed to save you time and money. And now Box Drop Syracuse has sectional sofas and love seats as well, with prices designed to fit your budget. Box Drop Syracuse Mattress and Sofas. Set up your appointment today at boxdropsyracuse.com. All right, we are back. Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We are still moving in our direction towards 500 subscribers. We're going to give away this lovely golf club that I have right here. This is the Highbore XL Cleveland, still wrapped up in the paper. All right, still in the plastic. Fantastic. All right, brand new, donated by our friends at Play It Again Sports. We have promised to give that away at 400 subscribers. And I was telling Boy Green, so I'm going to
500 subscribers.
500 subscribers. Thank you. I was telling Boy Green, the reason I said that is I was already thinking to the next thing. I told Boy Green I want to do something for 400 too. So we've committed to 500 subscribers, and someone's walking out the door with that beautiful golf club worth over $400. But I'm going to find something. I have a bunch of things, Boy Green, that I'm looking to give away. So I'm going to find something, and maybe we'll announce Wednesday this week. All right. When we get to 400, we'll give away a smaller item, but a cool item nonetheless.
Which, by the way, folks, we are about 30 subscribers away from reaching that total. So, again, youtube.com/MC Show Digital. And here's the cool thing. If you subscribe to that YouTube channel with the link in front of you right here, and go to it, you'll be eligible for the 400 one. You'll be eligible for the 500 one. You'll be
Correct.
eligible for
You're
every
in for
single
all the
one that we
pools, right?
continue to
You're in
do
for all the pools.
moving forward. So take
That's
full
correct.
advantage of that, folks. Again, that's YouTube.
Yeah, so 30, we could get to 30 quickly, and we can give away this other item that I will disclose on Wednesday for 400, and you can, cherish that for Christmas or give that away as a Christmas gift. Okay, so welcome aboard, everybody. Good to be with you and good to be talking about all things NFL on this weekend. Both the Jets and the Giants unfortunately lost, but of course we're maintaining our draft status. The Giants close again. Jameis Winston has certainly been interesting.
Oh, yeah,
I said it the day they fired Brian Dable. You remember Boy Green, so this is not like, hindsight.
Sure,
right?
sure.
I said the first thing Kafka ought to do is install Jameis as the quarterback. We knew that Jackson Dart wasn't going to play because that concussion. As it turns out now, he's missed 2 games because of the concussion. But get Jameis in there. Jameis just provides a whole new level of excitement for us Giant fans. And even in another loss, and certainly this was a disappointing loss, it was still fun. I still enjoyed watching the game. Like, nobody likes to lose. I get it. In the end, you want to win, but I still had a great time watching that game, and Jameis Winston is the biggest reason for that. There's just an energy, and the guy just has I don't care, man. I'm just out here playing football and going crazy and chucking it down the field. I mean, 2 4th and longs that the Giants made late in that game that just had no business being made, and it wouldn't have been made with Russell Wilson at quarterback or someone else in there. It's just crazy Jameis. He just throws it up there and go get it, receivers, and sometimes they do. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is something I've always said about Jameis, and for fans of teams that he's on, and in this current case, it's the Giants. He unloads the clip. He leaves everything on the field, and that's good and bad, right? He threw a pick yesterday, but he had 366 passing yards, but he only completed 50% of his passes, but he threw 2 touchdown passes. He also caught one.
That was great. That play was awesome.
And then it's not the classic, you throw it to the like, again, Syracuse played Miami earlier this year, and there was this trickeration back and forth, throw it back to the quarterback, and he just walks into the end zone wide open because it's great design. That wasn't this for Jameis. The ball gets thrown in his direction. He makes a play, makes a juke, stiff arm, high steps it into the end zone. Like, it's just exciting. So Jameis Winston makes it super exciting. So, hey, you know what? He unloads the clip. He has a lot of fun doing it. He's an absolute gunslinger. And I'm sure the Giants are going to receive a lot of calls this offseason about a potential trade because Jackson Dart, in a perfect world, is your starting quarterback. Russell Wilson's a free agent after this year. But, having a backup quarterback or potentially a bridge starter for some team like the Jets, I would imagine they and a lot of other teams are going to call the Giants and see if they're willing to move him. Maybe the Giants won't, and they just love what he brings to quarterback room and says, hey, a random 5th-round pick we don't give a crap about. We'd rather have Jameis. Correct. And if I'm the Giants, by the way, that's what I would do. But maybe they'll be intrigued by getting another asset because they're trying to reload around their quarterback. So maybe we'll see. But, they're going to get a lot of calls this offseason about a trade, I think.
And I get a feeling he's not a complainer. I mean, he was number 3 on the depth chart and wasn't complaining. Right. And I don't think he was complaining when he was a number 2, and I don't think he's certainly not complaining when he's getting the opportunities to be number 1. So he just seems like a good team guy. He's a good guy for Jackson Dart to be around and to, let some of that excitement rub off on him. So very, very cool stuff. Yeah. It brings it right into this. I do want to talk about Bone here, but let me just, you and I were talking about this off air. So here's Phil.
Here we go.
One of our resident Giant fans. Thanks, Phil, always for your questions. He says, Manchild, should the Giants have kicked the field goal to go up 6? Boy Green asked me this question off air in our little pre-production meeting before we got on the air.
Yeah, and just to set some context here, let's just lay out for folks that did not see the game just to see. And Manchild, you tell me, again, you just answer Phil's question here. So again, the Giants are up 3. It's 27-24. There's about 3 minutes left in the game, and it's 4th and goal. The Giants could kick a field goal. They'd go up 6. And then obviously the Lions would have to score a touchdown, kick an extra point to beat them. Or they can go for it and try to, quote unquote, win it. It wouldn't be over, but win it right there. You go up 2 scores and then the rest makes history. So take it from there, Large.
To answer your question, Phil, and Paul and I, like I said, we're debating this beforehand. We disagreed, by the way, and you can give your take on this, Paul.
Yeah.
But my take was I absolutely, positively loved it. Loved it. I did not want him to kick the field goal there. I know from a rational sense and from the odds on, the general
analytics,
conservative approach, what most coaches would do, they would have kicked the field goal there. Okay. I understand the percentages were probably to kick the field goal. But I think it's time, place, and circumstance. Number one, you're Mike Kafka. What do you got to lose? Number two, you got Jameis Winston at quarterback. What do you got to lose? Okay. Number three, you're a 2-win team, and you're on the verge of maybe putting away a team that many people thought would be in the Super Bowl this year.
Sure. Yeah.
What do you got to lose? And I said this to Boy Green too, and I think this was an important thing. If it was a 2-point game, I kick the field goal because I have to force. I don't want to lose the game on a field goal. But the fact that it was 3 still kind of in a lot of ways gave me the faith to say, okay, the Lions will have to kick one here to tie it, and then we're still in the game and going to overtime. So it's not, we're not going to lose on a field goal. We're only going to tie on a field goal. And if they score a touchdown, they're going to win the game. But if they score a touchdown, they're going to win the game either way, whether we kick the field goal or not. So putting all that in the blender, plus the Giants season, plus a Mike Kafka, plus what do we got to lose? I say absolutely positively. And I know there have been some ferocious critics of this. One article Paul was reading me beforehand was one of the New York Giant beat guys. And he's basically saying Mike Kafka lost his chance to win this job with that singular decision. I couldn't disagree with that writer more. I couldn't disagree with that writer more. Wrong, and wrong again, in my opinion. I think, if anything, that shows John Mara that this guy's willing to roll the dice. I think that shows John Mara that this guy's got a pair, as we say. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Paul, you did not love it as much. Go ahead. Offer your opinion.
Yeah, this is what I would say on this. In that situation, again, where you're up 3 minutes to go, 4th and goal, I would have kicked the field goal, and here's why. You kick the field goal, you go up 30-24, 3 minutes ago. The Lions now don't have a choice. The only thing they can do is win the game. Of course, they could have scored the touchdown, missed the extra point, I guess, and then it also ends up in overtime either way, I guess, but that seems unlikely. Jake Bates has been a wonderful kicker for the Detroit Lions. But you force them to go into the end zone. In this NFL season, where we're seeing consistently 60-plus yard field goals being made by every kicker known to man, the field goal option being available to then kick this game into overtime, I viewed it like playing with fire. I think if we were all honest with ourselves, the Lions are a better team than the Giants. Would you agree with that, Lurch?
At this stage of evolution, I'd have to say yes.
I appreciate you.
For now, they are.
For now, right?
For now, they are.
So the Giants played a wonderful game yesterday where they were controlling it, I would say, for most of it against Detroit, and Detroit makes an epic rally to come back into this. But I think you're playing with fire. If you open up the overtime opportunity, I think eventually Detroit Lions, who I think are the better team, if you give them enough wax in the pinata, that thing's going to burst open and candy's going to pour out. It hadn't for most of the game. The Giants did a wonderful job, but to give them another whack potentially of kicking a field goal, which Jake Bates has an amazing leg. And I thought as soon as that happened, I'm like, oh boy, we're going to overtime. Let's see what happens next. And I was concerned if we got to overtime, especially in the new overtime rules. Both teams get a chance now. It's the playoff rules. Even if the Giants won the toss and got a touchdown immediately, the Lions still get another opportunity on their side. So the Lions are going to get the ball. I think it was playing with fire. I would have kicked the field goal and said, hey, Lions, if you want to beat us, well, you're going to have to beat us going from pillar to post, A to Z. You're going to have to punch this ball into the end zone, especially considering the Giants' resume to this point. They had blown, this ended up being the fifth, fourth quarter lead blown. I don't want to blow it with field goal overtime. If they punch in a touchdown, then so be it. I will live and die by that sword. I don't want to go to overtime, which I thought was a dramatically high possibility because of how well kickers have been performing this season. So I respectfully, with all due respect, disagree, and I would have been on the other side of this one.
And I understand, and it is a total play the percentages thing, and it is probably the right thing to do. But time, place, and circumstance, where this organization is at the moment, I love the decision.
Sure.
Don't we all want Dan Campbell to be our coach most of the time?
Right,
I mean, occasionally, like in that 49er playoff game, oh, Dan, a little too crazy. But 95% of the time, I'm like, yeah, Dan, let's bite off their kneecaps and let's go again, brother. Believe in your team. What's wrong with that? We just believe in our teams. That's what we're supposed to do. So come on. We love that. So let's love it with the Giants. And what's the damage here? Damage report. Let me hold on. Get my pad and paper here.
Okay. All right.
Damage report. New York Giants. Let's see. As a result of not making that fourth down conversion and losing the game, we're still the number 2 pick in the draft at the moment.
2-10, yeah.
Check. As a result of all that, we've now fired our defensive coordinator who was already inept. Oh, check. Very good. Yeah, check. I don't feel lousy today. I'm sorry. Anybody that thinks I need to feel lousy because my Giants blew it, okay, is wrong and doesn't know about fandom, because my fandom is for the future of my team. Sure, do I want them to win tomorrow? Yes, I do. But in the end, if we don't, by going for it, we didn't try to lose the game. We tried to win the game. We tried to win it outright. We tried to put them away. We tried to put the Lions out of their misery. And we couldn't do it. We didn't finish it. Okay?
So, Lurch,
it's kind of the story of our season. But I'll take it. I'll take it bravely. I'll take that loss bravely and say, we live to fight another day. We're still the number 2 overall pick. It's fine. It's fine. Go ahead, BG.
So no, I was going to say, because we're swimming in these waters already, continue to carry the torch. Of breaking news from earlier today is that the Giants have fired Shane Bowen. So your response, we already
it's overdue.
Where
the
that
defense
is.
has
So go
just
ahead.
been so badly and grossly underperformed. I mean, if I'm to start thinking that Abdul Carter isn't the player that I thought he was when he was drafted number 3, that's very worrisome. They need a different coach coaching him because they are not getting the most out of him. Kayvon Thibodeau had a nice start to the season. It's kind of tailed off. Brian Burns is the one maybe consistent performer on this defense who's kind of showed up all season long. Like, this defense just should be better. At worst, they should be like between 10 and 15 in the league. And instead they're way down. That's bad coaching, in my opinion.
Sure.
I believe there's enough talent there. Yes, they have some holes. Yes, there are some places they're going to need improvements. They're going to need to draft guys, maybe go out in the free agent market during the offseason. But they should be much better than they are. At worst, they should be a middle of the road defense, and they have not been this season. And that has to fall on the shoulders of the defensive coordinator / head coach. Well, the head coach is gone already. You can blame him. Ultimately, he's really responsible because he's the one who picked that guy. He's the one who assigned that guy. He's the one checking off on the game plan every week. Yep, good game plan. He's the one not getting in the headset saying, wait a minute. No, let's send them all on this one. You don't. You have yourself to blame. So you're going to give it over to Shane Bowen, and it doesn't work. Then the person who assigned Shane Bowen should go first. And he did. Brian Dable's gone. All right. Now Shane Bowen needs to go, and he's gone. So it is what it is. It just didn't work. It doesn't mean Bowen's a bad guy. It doesn't mean he's ultimately a terrible DC. It just wasn't the right DC for this Giants team. So I love the move. It's overdue. I'm glad that Kafka did it the right way. He took his time. He didn't just say, okay, I'm the new coach now. You're out.
Rash decision, right?
And that's bad because now you're starting and you got your own stuff to worry about. Now you got to worry about all this other stuff. At least you have a guy that has been doing the job up to this point. Maybe not well, but doing the job while you work on other things like the disastrous quarterback situation and having your quarterback concussed and who's playing and what are you doing. He had big decisions to make right out of the chute. Why overwhelm himself by putting more decisions on this? So I like the way Kafka has handled this. I told you this before. We'll continue to talk about this all season long. So far, in my opinion, going into the Kafka thing, and again, it's all on the record. Go check it out. I already said this. This is not like we're saying something. He's just making stuff up. I don't make stuff up. I'm a very consistent person. When I am wrong, I will tell you, I blew that one. Oh, that was an awful take. All right. We all got to have takes when we do this kind of stuff.
Sure.
Okay. I'm not particularly a hot take artist, but every once in a while, I'm very passionate about something and I will hot take it. All right. And I pretty much had a hot take that I don't want anything to do with Mike Kafka as the head coach of the Giants going forward. No, thank you. It's like vanilla ice cream, not even sprinkles on it. No, thank you. I've seen Kafka for 2 games. I'm starting to warm up to him. I kind of like what he's doing. I kind of like the way he's moving and grooving. I kind of like what I'm seeing out of the players under him. So he is slowly but surely earning a little of my respect. Now, I'm not saying he should be the next coach yet. What I am saying is he absolutely, at this point, through 2 games of doing this, has convinced me that he deserves an interview. And if he can continue to build on this, then he gets more than an interview. Maybe he even gets serious consideration because we've already seen what he can do as a leader of men. And this isn't, by the way, about wins and losses. I know he's 0-2. This is about, can this guy lead this group? Can this guy teach these young players? Okay. That's what I care about right now, about Mike Kafka. And so far, so good for me, even with an 0-2 start. I like what I'm seeing. Go ahead, BG.
And I would say this from the Giants' perspective, right? It's crazy not to look at a guy that the rest of the NFL has been consistently looking at. Mike Kafka has been getting NFL head coaching interviews across the league. Now, they haven't resulted in anything. He actually was a finalist in a couple of places, too. It might have been Seattle. I'm going to have to double check off memory. I can't remember where he ended up being a finalist. But still, he got multiple NFL head coaching interviews. If you're the Giants and you don't evaluate this guy, which obviously they're doing with him being the interim coach, you're doing yourself a disservice. You should have as great of an insight into Mike Kafka than any team in the National Football League. So, hey, let's see what this young man has the rest of the way. And obviously, the Giants are going to get this evaluation. That's what they wanted. We heard about the rumors even before the year on the Brian Daboll hot seat. If he was to go, would Kafka be the interim? And obviously he has. And let's see what he continues to deliver here this season.
We'll jump right over Giants to Jets. I like this comment, Boy Green. Williams sending this in earlier. While I believe the Jets played hard the last 2 weeks, other fans will pick so much apart to keep the tank and fire Glenn discussion going strong. It makes me sick. What do you think about how the Jets have performed the last couple of weeks after the trade deadline? They're obviously down some people. Are they playing harder? Do you like what you're seeing from the Jets?
Yeah, because this was part of Boy Green Daily this morning, so I'll bring this quote straight here. And this was from ESPN's Mike Greenberg yesterday. He tweeted this out. Aaron Glenn has given fans of the Jets absolutely no reason to believe he is the guy. In-game decisions that make no sense seemingly every week. Just like the Giants, the Jets also had a similar fourth down situation. It wasn't the goal line, but it was 4th and 2 from the Jets' own 42-yard line. Aaron Glenn goes, fire off the cannons. Let's go. And it was a 10-7 game. Jets were down 3 points. But from their own 42-yard line, he says, fire it up. Let's go. It doesn't work. Ravens score a touchdown, go up 17-7, and then the Jets never truly quite get back into the game. Brees Hall had a fumble late, so it didn't end up getting back to the game. So the decision was costly. So Aaron, there's a lot of heat around Aaron Glenn, and that's the decision that Greeny was referencing. And when I read that tweet, I pulled out a notebook and said, you know what, Paul, I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning and I had a blank notebook and I said, I want to write down any of the reasons why I believe I'm optimistic about AG. Let's just brainstorm, just throw it all up on the paper and see, is there reasons? And I came up with a full sheet of paper for reasons. The Jets were the most penalized team in football the last 2 years. This season, before the Ravens game, they were 21st least amount of penalties in the league. He's turned around the penalty thing. I like that. There's that from AG. He has them fighting hard. In the last 2 games, they were on the road in Foxborough to play the New England Patriots, and then yesterday on the road in Baltimore to play the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens had won 4 in a row, and they were a game out of first place in the AFC North. They're as motivated as a team can be motivated. Patriots, they're trying to keep the lead in the AFC East. And despite the massive point spreads that existed in both of those games, Aaron Glenn had his guys prepared, motivated, and disciplined, ready to go for these games. So I think that speaks to AG.
Again, it's the same as I was saying with the Giants and Kafka a minute ago. You want to see if this guy's a good leader of men going from here out. Like the record is the record. Sure, would you like a few more wins? We'd all like a few more wins. But is he leading this team? Do you see good leadership?
Yeah.
That's what I would care about if I'm a Jet fan right now in terms of my head coach. That's what I care about in evaluating this interim coach as to whether or not he should get a serious look here as a head coach. I think the things are actually very similar.
Yeah, I do too. And again, ahead of the trade deadline, right? They trade away Sauce Gardner, Quinn Williams. Those are 2 of the most expensive and 2 of the best players on the team, regardless of offense or defense. And you trade them away. And they got nice picks for the future, but that doesn't help right now.
Right.
So the rest of the guys in the locker room could go, screw this. Clearly the Jets don't care about 2025. Why the hell would I? And they could have rolled over and said, let this AG guy be one and done. He doesn't care about us. We don't care about him. That's not what happened. They have been fiery. They've been in every game. The blowout stuff happened earlier in the season. That's not happening now. So he has them motivated. They seem to be improving in a lot of key areas. Now wins, again, results-oriented business. No, they won 2 in a row before this most recent 2 games that they just played. But to me, I see plenty of reasons for optimism. So I politely disagree with Greenberg that he's shown no reason that he's the guy. Has he been perfect? Absolutely not with key decision-making. But I've seen a lot of progress. And again, the phrase you just used, leader of men, Jets have been begging for that forever. And let's see him get his opportunity to build the team in his vision. And they have 5 first-round picks over the next 2 years to do so.
By the way, BG, it's coming down already. Jamie the
It
FedEx
is.
asking, so when's the beard coming off? And go
Yeah.
Bears, of course.
Yeah. So for folks who missed it, although I guess I got to keep the Notre Dame story lurch told in mind that I shouldn't tell this story in a fast forwarded version because some people may be hearing this for the first time. So I'll try to have a happy balance here.
All right.
A fan called into the show that Lurch knows very well, my Boy Green Daily Show. His name is Alon. He made a bet with me that if the Jets lost these last two games in Baltimore and in New England, I would have to shave off the beard completely. Long story short, we negotiate back and forth, and it's basically the most of the beard will be disappearing if they lost. Spoiler alert, they did lose. So the beard will be coming off. The question of whether the beard is coming off or not is no longer up for debate. It has to come off now because I'm a man of my word.
Yep.
What is now up for challenge is whether or not this beard gets shaved off live on a video streaming show.
Right.
And if we receive enough memberships, which we got a surge of them earlier, 30-something memberships earlier, so we're 60 some odd away. So if that happens before Thanksgiving, 60 more memberships on the Boy Green YouTube channel, then the beard shaving will happen live on a program.
Be a public event.
100%. If so Matt from Auburn wants it live. Well, folks, again, if you guys send in all the memberships, it'll happen live.
Okay.
If they don't send in the memberships by Thanksgiving, no worries. The beard's still coming off, but one show you'll see me like this, and then
And the
one
next
show
one?
you'll see me with a lot less.
Close
So
cut.
so it'll probably be. I haven't. My dad actually. I thought he was being a jerk. I'm going to be honest. So I'm up at like 5 a.m. this morning. I get a text from my dad. I'm like, oh, what does he want? He's like, hey, do you want me to schedule an appointment for the beard shaving?
Oh,
And I thought he was
he's
being a
on this, huh?
jerk.
Yeah,
And I'm like, yeah, hilarious, buddy. Yeah,
Yeah.
great. And he's
Right.
like, no, I'm dead serious. He's like, the clippers I have here, I mean, I'm going to be basically, and I'm
good.
paraphrasing, I'm going to be operating with a pair of hedge clippers over here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You might want a pro to do this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So he has his own personal barber apparently in New Hampshire, and I'm going to be there for Thanksgiving. So
All right. All right.
regardless of whether this happens live or not live, that will be happening at that professional barber
I
to
like
get it done right,
like
apparently. So
The
beautiful.
barber gets some free pub out of this whole thing.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. So it's going to
Love
work out for the barber. You're going to get free public
Hey,
sponsorship.
and by the way,
while we're doing
this
this.
beard trimming, we're going to be running that in a live stream just to let you know. So
Yeah.
you
So
know, no
you know,
cursing, please. Well, you can-
100%.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll see. So it's unfortunate. My fiance is totally pissed. She loves that I have this beard. So,
It'll grow back. It'll grow.
but here's the thing: if I lose bets, I'd rather lose bets because I believe in my team. I didn't
Mhm.
lose it saying, "Oh man, I bet the Jets are going to lose every game the rest of the year." I'd feel terrible about a crazy bet like that. It was me believing in them. So if I'm gonna die on that sword. If I'll do bets forever, believing in my team.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, there's a little bit on the Jets, a little bit on the Giants to get things started off. I just want to walk around the league here a little bit,
Sure, yeah.
BG, because we're only going to be with people to the top of the hour today. I know you got to hit the road. You're getting heading on up for Thanksgiving, up to New Hampshire to the family complex there. So you want to get on the road soon. I got a million things to do this week too. By the way, we'll be dropping a lot of our content in the early part of the week this week.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, actually, you know how we usually, folks, Fridays we do live fantasy football with Joe Bartle at 10:30 on Fridays. That's religious. We're going to do that tomorrow with Joe, and I think it's at 11. I think it's
11 o'clock live. So you guys can submit your fantasy
So
questions.
our Friday fantasy thing will be tomorrow because we got all those Turkey Day games. So we want to give you advice on all those games plus the weekend. So Joe is actually going to join us live tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Plus, we have all the usuals. Jake Asman is back on board. Anthony Prohaska is on board for the Bills. We got Ed Valentine for the Giants. All our regulars for Jets, Giants, and Bills are all doing it between now and Wednesday. So by by middle of the day Wednesday, all of our content for the week will probably be spilled out all over our channel. So anything that we record will already be out there. Anything we do live, we'll have done already. We will have our normal live show on Wednesday morning as well. So we're going to be live today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So we can catch up on stuff across the 3 days. But let's whip around the league a couple of things. All right, so I'm just going to throw some stuff at you.
Sure.
Just kinda hit 'em. Let's do some quick hitting. All right. Are the Rams the best team in football right now? Question.
Unequivocally. I mean, look how they, again, unfortunate for the Baker Mayfield injury, and hopefully all the medical scans and everything turn out okay for Baker, but unequivocally, the Rams are the best team in football. And man, we thought with Matthew Stafford in the back, and we're like, oh boy, are they even going to be viable? And your Giants almost traded for Matthew Stafford in the offseason. They
Oh.
considered going down that path.
Oh, my
Imagine
God.
how the worlds could have changed, and now look at the Rams. And they're now not only the best team in football, as I just said, in my opinion, but they're now the new betting favorites to win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's a bad place to be, though, these days, the betting favorite to win the Super
Well,
Bowl.
that's also
Seems like every couple of weeks that whole thing turns upside down and
It's
backwards.
a curse.
I mean, I know the Chiefs pulled it out yesterday,
Yeah.
but both the Chiefs and the Bills, who were two locks for everybody to be battling for the top spot likely in the AFC, with maybe one or two other teams, are now like struggling to get into playoffs. They keep losing games they can't afford to lose. We know the Bills, obviously, Thursday Night Football went down to the Texans. The Chiefs were able to win, man. We're going to get into that Indian thing. All right, let's hold off on Indianapolis. We'll get into that. Daniel Jones, I think the pumpkin is turning back. The prince is turning back into the pumpkin or whatever it is.
Yeah,
whatever the saying is. But I do agree with you. At the moment, the Rams are the best team in football. And it's not just Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams, by the way, and some of the other weapons that they have. That defense, which Boy Green has been like Mr. Streamer in fantasy the last couple of weeks, streaming defenses and whacked out players off the waiver wire. First he hits not 1 week, but 2 weeks in a row with Michael Wilson. Who even knows what team that guy's on? Nobody knows what team that guy's on. He's on the Arizona Cardinals, folks. And for the last 2 weeks, he's been one of the best receivers in football point-wise in fantasy. This creep, all because of appendicitis from Marvin Harrison Jr. That guy probably is not even in the lineup, for crying out loud. And instead, he's putting up 30-plus fantasy points every week. Insanity right there. Where was I? Just lost my train of thought. Oh, but it's the Rams defense that has been incredible. I mean, they put a lockdown on Baker Mayfield and Tampa yesterday. So it's not just Stafford and the offense. It's the fact that they can play both sides of the ball. So if you are a Rams guy at the moment or are a proponent that the Rams deserve to be favored, well, know that they deserve to be favored, not just because they have an explosive offense and a good quarterback, but that they are a well-rounded team, which a lot of teams are not this year. I give you most weeks, even though they played better this week, the Kansas City defense, I give you the Ravens offense, which is on and off, I mean, I can just point to each team and tell you where they are missing pieces, so Bills and their defense, on and on it goes. So the Rams seem to be the most complete team in football right now, which makes them arguably the best team in football right now.
Yes. Real quick, I'll just answer this from Badshot, just so we're clear, Paul. You're trimming your beard, not shaving your beard off. Correct. A lot of it's just basically they're putting a 2 on the beard and whomp. But like, look at all this. That is going to be. I'll do a before and after picture. You guys will see it for yourself. It's a lot coming off. Anywho, go ahead, Lurch.
Okay. All right. Next up, the Cowboys show the Eagles flaws. I mean, that was 21 zip, right? It was 21 zip.
It was 21 zip.
I was watching it. It was 21 zip. I was like, oh boy, so much for the Cowboys showing up for this thing. Wow, the Eagles are just going to whomp them in Dallas. I can't believe it. I was like, let me hang around for a little. And then the Cowboys got that first touchdown. I was like, okay, all right. It's only 2 scores. I mean, if their defense can do anything. And then we get to the second half and then, the defense starts standing up a little bit, or was it the other way around that the Eagles just became inept offensively? You can make that argument. But that, I think it was the second touchdown. You correct me if I'm wrong, when Dak dove over the guy. Line, right?
Dramatically.
I was like, that got the team going. That got the crowd going. That got the team going. When they scored that one, I was like, oh, the Cowboys may do this. Turning. The worm is turned. And sure enough, the worm did turn, and the Cowboys end up winning that game by a field goal. Brandon Aubrey, of course, never misses anything. That's why he's on all my fantasy teams. Fabulous.
Suck it, Joe.
Dallas. And Dallas, to me, great win for Dallas. Okay, I'm not going to be anti-Cowboys guy here, even though I am.
Is there a butt coming?
This is the Eagles blowing it, in my opinion. Like, the Cowboys won, and they earned this victory. But the Eagles, let's put it this way. Let's not say they blew it. The Eagles are a flawed team, and those flaws were on display in the second half of that game last night. That's what I'll say. The Cowboys took it. They deserve it. Jerry Jones, celebrate. All you Cowboys fans, celebrate. But the Eagles are a flawed team. We've been saying it for weeks and weeks and weeks on this show, and finally somebody got them. Somebody said, let me show you. We're going to take and expose these flaws in the second half of a game when it matters, and that's exactly what the Cowboys did. So kudos to the Cowboys. But to me, this is more of an Eagle problem than a Cowboy thing. I think it's more of an
Okay.
ego problem with the Cowboys, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would just say, and again, shout out to Pop. I see him in there. How about them Cowboys, George frickin' Pickens? Which, by the way, again,
Pickens would be great, by the way. Good mention on that, Pop, because
yeah,
George Pickens he's playing better than CD right now. I mean, he's just been
it's not
really,
close.
really good. He's making freakish catches. Everything that Pittsburgh knew he was, other than what's going on in here.
Third
All right.
round pick.
But everything they knew he was a total freak, and he has shown this for years and years. But with the Cowboys and with this quarterback and with this group and
CD
having
Lamb on the
CD
other side. Right.
all of that is helping. Okay. He's getting a chance to be George Bleepin Pickens, and right now he is George Bleepin Pickens. And Boy Green, again, the beneficiary on his fantasy team. Pickens, these defenses, Michael Wilson. Like, how many more things can go right for you? And yet I'm still in first, Boy Green. I'm still in first.
I've
I'm still
noticed
in
that.
front of you, my friend.
But I appreciate that I am creating gap for the 2 seed,
Yeah,
which
you
means
are.
I could lock
You
up
are.
that bye a little
Looks like we're
sooner.
going to be 1-2. I mean,
Hey,
I just
that's
need
good
one
for
more
the
win,
brand.
and I'm guaranteed to be either 1 or 2.
Right.
Yeah, you're on the verge because everyone else is falling apart below us. I love it. They're
Once
all
again,
each other up.
great for the brand. The Manchild Boy Green Digital, ba-boom. That looks phenomenal. But I would say this, that sometimes you like sort of do notes before fantasy drafts. It's like, I want this guy. I don't know. I've got a feeling about it. I wanted George Pickens in our leagues. And interestingly, how it worked, Lurch, is we did our other fantasy drafts before the Champs League. So I kept missing on Pickens. I'm like, damn it. I just wouldn't take him. And I said in this Champs League to myself, I wrote it down, right? No matter what, George Pickens, no matter what, I am overdrafting him. I don't care. I want
What round
him.
did you take him? I don't remember.
I'll have to go back and see in our fantasy results. But whatever he was projected. If he was projected 5th round, I'm like, I'm taking him 3rd round. I didn't care. And look at him. Yesterday, 9 catches for 146 yards and a touchdown. He caught every targeted pass. So, hey, this is the only thing I'll say for the Cowboys. You said, Eagles claps more so than Cowboys taking it. That Cowboys offense is 100% for real. And if CD Lamb could get his head on straight, I mean, who knows what this Cowboys offense could do? They're picking up some steam. The Quinn and Williams trade seems to have been a boost, both literally and also for the psyche of this team. So watch out for the Cowboys. We'll see. Great Thursday night game. That's going to be the most watched game of like the last 50 years, Lurch. Chiefs, Cowboys, Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness, that's going to be.
And this is where, to me, sleeping at the wheel hurts too. And I will call it sleeping at the wheel. I mean, kudos for you.
Yeah.
But you've been up in the standings all year long. That means every week on waiver day, like me, we're picking towards the back end. I've been picking last.
We don't have the pick of the litter.
Not getting anything, I just hope that somebody doesn't see something or whatever,
Right.
That, all right, I need a defense and no one else does. Maybe I'll get my pick, but usually it's my 3rd and 4th selection that I'm getting, and I'm like, that's god awful. Like I did that this week with Bam Knight because I knew that Jacobs would be in trouble, and I was like, I don't really have anything on my bench. My other guys are all on bye. What am I going to do? So I went out and got Bam Knight, but I tried for 3 other guys. I wanted Emmanuel Wilson. Of course, I didn't get him. He would have been even better. I wanted, I was going through the list, and then I get like my 4th guy on the list, but it worked out. Bam Knight. He did the job, but I'm not complaining. But I'm just saying that's the way it was.
So, anywho, what did you have to say? You said because I'm high in the standings. What did I?
Yeah. So what I was going to say is Dak Prescott was out there all year long for most of our year. Dak Prescott was just flying in the breeze, man. He was just out there on the waiver.
It was
wire.
a trade, actually. I did not pick him up.
Trade. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, it was a trade. What was that trade?
Again,
that trade. I thought he was a waiver wire pickup.
Yeah,
Dak was
100% a trade.
What the heck? Dak's been great, man. I'm like, well, who gave him? Who gave you Dak? This is terrible.
Oh, I'll tell you. Again, I'm randomly about to go to bed one night, and for me, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. So that's the last thing I do. I don't want to be bothered in my sleep. And I'm going to put it in Do Not Disturb, and I get a ba-ding, and I'm like, what's this? Oh, a trade offer? I'm like, all right, let me look at it before I go to bed.
Look at this now. I'm not even thinking clear.
Yeah, right. And it was a 1-for-1 trade. Rashad Bateman, my Baltimore Ravens wide receiver, for Dak Prescott. And I went, I have Justin Fields. He scored 30 or something, so I don't need it. But I'm like, Justin is all over the place. So
Rashad Bateman.
So it was Austin in our league. He sent me the trade right before I went to bed, and I'm like, yeah, screw it. And I go accept, and then I just go.
Hey, Austin, want to know why you're in last place in our league? I offer you that trade.
Oh,
and the 3 others that you've made this year, which have been horrendous. Seriously, he's been a terrible trader this year, and that is among the worst. I didn't even know he made that trade. That's an awful trade. And I know Dak had a little bit of a slow start. He did trade him for Rashad Bateman. Oh my Lord. We all want Dak Prescott these days. What did he go over 30 yesterday? Yeah, I can't even get that out of Patrick Mahomes. He's supposed to be the best quarterback in football.
Appreciate
my Lord. You talk about stepping in. This one, I hate to say this because I've been in first place most of the year.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, this has all the makings of you winning the league this year because it's all going right for you. That Michael,
Ooh.
that's what happened to me in years that I won. I ended up with someone like a Michael Wilson late in the season. He just like took me right to the finish. I'm like, yeah. Remember that time I got James Conner? It's like a throw in on a trade, and he scored like 15 touchdowns in the last 6 weeks. I was like, the guy was in the end zone twice every weekend. I was like, yeah, another 25 for Conner, in the old flex spot. Plus, I had other good players.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy stuff like that.
Ooh.
Like, I've had a good roster all season long, but now it's like my guys are leveling out a little bit and everyone else is moving up. I'm like, oh man. Now I'm like,
so what is it? Look,
fingernails.
In the Champs League, you have 2 rings. I have two rings, right?
Yes.
Oh, so a third
brutal.
one.
Yeah, it would be brutal if you get it before me. That's for sure. That would be brutal.
Nice.
I really want it badly, but again, if I'm just to say what what the ebb and flow is right now.
Sure.
Right now, even though you're in second, the tide is in your favor right now.
Ooh,
I need
nice.
something to swing my way, and I'm not sure. I'm running out of time for things to swing my way. I'm going to still have a good season. I might go deep in the playoffs, but I don't know if I can win the whole league based on the momentum that your team kind of has right now.
Right.
And when you're getting things like Prescott going crazy, Wilson going crazy, plus you have other good players. You've had other good Pickens going crazy. You're swinging out there, swinging for the fences on defenses and getting 20-point weeks. I'm like, Jesus, man, what is going on? I did the same this week. I went out and picked up the Green Bay defense. Someone dropped them. I was like, I'm going to take a swing with them. And they scored me like 16, 17 points. I was like, yeah.
Which I had them in the past. So, good.
All right. Some other quickies before we get out of here today.
Sure.
I told you I'd be happy for Shedeur if he got the win, Boy Green, and he got the win. He's the first rookie quarterback since Eric Zaire in 1995 to win in his first start, as a rookie quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Goes all the way back to 1995. That is 30 years of pure pain for rookies not getting a win. So congrats to Shedeur. And I already heard Stefanski and this team. Why can't they just zip? How about don't say anything if you're not going to say something right? Because out of Browns camp today was, we don't know who our starter is going to be for the next game. Is Shedeur going to start now that he got the win? We're evaluating that, and we're not sure who's going to be our starter. How about you give the kid a vote of confidence, or just say something else other than that? Because to me, that is that's what it is. It's why are you constantly putting this kid in his place? He just won you a football game. You haven't done that in a long time, stinking team. Come on, man. Give that guy.
I don't get it. The self-sabotage,
it's terrible. It's like I told you. We went into the weekend. I said it on a Friday show. They want him to lose. This Browns team wants this guy to lose. They want him to fail because they're going to have to answer questions if he doesn't. And now they're answering the questions the wrong way again. That's why the Browns are a disaster.
Yeah.
They always do it wrong. Come on, Browns.
But happy for Shedeur. He had this wonderful start, some big-time throws. The Browns dominate, so I'm happy for Shedeur. It was cool to see his dad up there. So the camera, they had, hey, camera 3, watch Dion this entire game. Camera 3, and celebrations of primetime up there. That's awesome.
Gotcha. All right, some other quickies here. We can't go into this in depth with Boy Green. Yep. Did the Colts blow it, or did the Chiefs win it? You can answer that and give me a one sentence either side. Did the Colts blow it, or did the Chiefs win it?
The Chiefs won it.
I thought the Colts blew it. Go ahead. Tell me why the Chiefs won it.
The Chiefs have tiger blood. And it's a cockroach. Oh, look, they're out. Oh, they're 2 games back before this game. Oh, they're 2 games back in the wild card. Stick a fork in them. And then just the right thing happens. They have voodoo dolls over there in Kansas City. I have no idea. Tiger blood.
All right. Colts blew it, in my opinion. Daniel Jones is turned back into a pumpkin. Yeah. And now it's just going to be like what happened with Darnold last year. Every time he's in pressured, he's going to crack. And he's showing it. He's shown it now in 2 games. 2 games in a row, I think, right? So he's showing that he's really Daniel Jones, and he's not Indiana Jones, as everyone wants to name him. He is not to be compared with the folk hero and the movie guy. Okay, here's another quickie, Boy Green. Is J.J. McCarthy already a bust? Yes or no?
Yes. I love JJ. I love the Michigan tie, the story, the national champion. He is totally a bust.
Okay. The Raiders fired Chip Kelly. So there was more than one coordinator fired. Good move or bad move? That's Pete Carroll firing Chip Kelly. They brought him in here to run that Raiders offense, and it hasn't looked good.
Terrible move. They paid him. I don't have the contract in front of me.
Crazy
They paid him
money.
ridiculous money to lure him there.
I know.
And in the middle of the first season,
Yep.
you're like, "God, hit the
He's out already.
hit the
Panic button.
showers, buddy. What
Yeah.
the? If you felt that way, though,
Woo.
then what was the leash length? I don't understand making the move in jet. What a disaster! Unbelievable.
All right, one on the fantasy front I threw in here
Yeah.
just on a whim.
Ooh,
Is Manchild's trade for JSN going to prove to be the best trade of this season when it's all said and done?
I told you, and again, thankfully, this explosion did not happen against me when we played. Thank God.
No, it didn't.
Which blessed be he.
He had a down week that week.
I texted you, Lurch, and I'll bring this private public. I think I said it before. When you made that move, and again, it's funny. Sometimes the best moves you make are the ones you don't make. You were in heavy negotiations with some other member in our league. You were trying to get a wide receiver. It didn't happen. And you're like, well, let me look in another pot. You look at another pot, and the JSN opportunity presents itself.
Yep.
I texted you when JSN went to you. That may have just won the league. JSN is on pace to have over 2,000 receiving yards.
Yeah.
Lurch, quick trivia. Do you know how many receivers in NFL history have over 2,000 receiving yards? Zero.
None. It's none.
No
Yeah,
one
because
have ever done it.
Megatron got really close, but he didn't get it.
1964, 1,964
really
yards.
close.
So it's
That's right.
never happened before. So JSN is on pace. How about this? JSN now has more receiving yards than any Seahawk receiver in a single season ever. We're in week 12. He still has more games to add on it.
And you want to know the funny thing about
playing at an absolutely unbelievable level.
And the funny thing about Seattle too is you don't want any of the other receivers. Like they went out and traded for Shaheed. He's been a disaster. You can't start that guy in fantasy. The rest of their receivers are trash, man. It's all him. It's fantastic.
Which you should be one-man record. Yeah, right. Woohoo!
Like Sammy just keep chucking it to JSN, man. 75 yarders, 50 yarders, just go.
Bomb.
So
yeah, he's a phenomenal receiver. Nice. He's the best receiver in football this year. Not close.
He is. He's the best receiver in football this season. I think it's bar none. And can he get the quest for 2,000? That would be awesome if he could get there, man.
First time ever.
And to me, in all honesty, like they should be making a concerted effort to do that. Like to me, it's time to start chasing that a little bit. I know they got to win. They're in a playoff hunt and everything. They got to think about that too. But they should be making every effort. Like, don't you want like your guy to be in that place all by themselves? Like that's just a cool place for one of your guys to be. I know it results probably in having to pay him more money down the road, but who cares? That guy's a stud. That guy is a stud. He has really turned into a true number one.
Here's a good thing, Lurch. The Venn diagram kisses. What do I mean? Getting him the ball leads to wins. You're not doing some obtuse thing. It's not a side quest on your adventure video game that, let's try to get JSN to 2,000 yards, and then let's also try to win the game. Those two things are on the same parallel path. Doing one leads to the other. So feed JSN.
Yeah, feed JSN. All right, last one, and we're going to get out of here. We'll have plenty of time. We've got Joe Bartle live tomorrow. We've got a live show on Thursday. So if there's anything Wednesday, if we want to go back to anything, we can. It is Thanksgiving week, folks. By the way, happy Thanksgiving week to everybody out there. We'll continue to pass our blessings on to you. Thank you for coming into the room today. Or if you get a chance to watch this after the fact, no problem there either. Good to be with you. All right, last one, Niners-Panthers tonight. I don't know. When I picked this last week, I took San Francisco and gave 7 points to Carolina. I don't know if I'm feeling as good about that today as I was when I made that pick. I don't know if I had to make that pick again today. I might take Carolina, but it is out there in San Francisco, which was my reasoning for taking the 49ers. And Christian McCaffrey, by the way, in the game tonight, if he has a typical Christian McCaffrey-like day because of Jonathan Taylor's down week in fantasy, Christian McCaffrey will have a chance to be fantasy numero uno outside of the quarterbacks. He would be numero uno in fantasy. He might even be including the quarterbacks. I'm not sure where the total points are, but we always look at the positions different than the quarterbacks. So Christian McCaffrey could be RB1, aka player one outside of the quarterbacks with a good performance tonight. That's why I'm taking San Francisco. They're home. I like them in that building, and I like Christian McCaffrey a lot. And he has been, for those that were worried about him and his injuries, boy, think about this for a minute. Okay. If you drafted Christian McCaffrey, which in most leagues went somewhere between like 6 and 12 this year.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Unless somebody was just Google Gaga and overdrafting him. He was pretty much not rock solid between 6 and 12.
Yep. So
that's probably where you picked him if you have him. And then either in the second round or even in the early third, you picked Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Mm-hmm.
If you drafted those two guys, you're probably winning your fantasy league right now.
Sure.
Because those two guys got the best receiver and you got the best running back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like usually you don't win fantasy on your top 2 draft picks. You win it later in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those years because both of those guys were attainable because JSN was so much further down the ranks because of what he did last season that you could have acquired very easily those 2 guys. And if you did, you were at the top or probably winning your fantasy league and might very well win the whole darn thing because of 2 draft picks. That doesn't often happen. But quickly give us a preview tonight, Boy Green. Panthers, Niners out there in San Fran.
Yeah, despite Manchild's random hate for the Panthers the last couple of weeks, and Anish Shroff is his guy. It makes absolutely no sense why you just have this weird, like, oh boy, they're playing the Panthers this week. And
I don't believe in Bryce Young. I don't believe it.
Which, again, he just set the single-game record for the Panthers, throwing for nearly 500 passing yards. But here's the thing to pay attention to for that. The Buccaneers got destroyed last night on Sunday Night Football. Baker Mayfield's hurt. The Panthers and Buccaneers have the same record. They're both 6-5. If the Panthers win tonight, they have outright sole possession lead of the NFC South. And here's this. You may say to yourself, well, when do the Panthers and Bucs play? 2 of the final 3 games of the season is Panthers-Bucs, random game, Panthers-Bucs. That's going to decide the winner of the NFC South. Who would have thunk it? The Carolina Panthers and Dave Canales and company are in that position. So, of course, the 49ers are heavily favored tonight. They're at home and all that jazz. But don't write off the Panthers, man. The Rico Dowdle storyline, who the heck could have thought that? No. I mean, it's been unbelievable. So, hey, we have the Christian McCaffrey revenge game, right? McCaffrey used to play for the Panthers, and now he got traded over to the 49ers. So it should be a lot of fun. This should be, I know the point spread is large. I think it should be a fun game tonight.
Yeah, I think it should have been a little smaller. I agree with you. And, we'll see. But and by the way, the Bucs better hope that Baker Mayfield is okay. He hurt his non-throwing shoulder in that game last night. Obviously, was in civvies, but remained on the sideline. If you watched the game, you saw that. They're not going anywhere with Teddy Bridgewater as the starting quarterback.
Hey,
they're backup.
I like Teddy Bridgewater. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he was like coaching high school football a couple of years ago, right? And then made his way back. Like, hey, Teddy, we need a guy. Hey, we're choosing up sides. Can you come play? I mean, that's what it felt like to me. I was like, what
happened
going on, man? Yeah. So yeah, it's a little, the Bucs' chances significantly drop.
Yes, that's fair to say.
If Baker's out for any kind of prolonged period of time, and they can't afford to lose games right now because, as you said, especially if Carolina wins tonight, Carolina now is in front of them. You can't let them get away. The Bills have let the Patriots get away, and look at what that looks like right now. Yeah, Bills better start worrying about getting a wild card and forget about the division. The division is bye-bye. Barring a total collapse, the division is bye-bye now. Now the Bills need to get in the playoffs, and then they can take care of business later. But they're not going to take care of business sooner without an epic New England collapse, and it doesn't look like that's happening anytime soon. I mean, New England was threatened yesterday and once again showed their mettle at the end of that game against Cincinnati. So a lot of credit to the New England Patriots. All right, BG, I'm going to let you hit the road. I want to wish everybody out there a happy Thanksgiving. Doesn't mean goodbye because we're back tomorrow. Live Joe Bartle at 11 o'clock. Plenty of other content getting dropped. But Poliquin will get dropped tomorrow. We've got, again, our Jets, Giants, and Bills insiders all coming early this week. We're going to get all our content out before Turkey Day so that you can, dare I say, bask in all the content over the holidays. And we will do our NFL pick segment as well before Turkey Day as well. We're trying to get it scheduled up with Matt Lombardo, but we probably will do that on Wednesday as well. So a lot of content. Thanks for all of you who've been tuning in regularly. Go check out all the stuff on Paul's Notre Dame trip. It's all in there. We might even find some other ditties that we haven't put in there yet. There's some new Survivor content out this week, and we will be in our typical spot on Wednesday night before Turkey Day, doing our live Survivor post-game show. So if you love the TV show Survivor and you've been watching season 49, jump in on the fun. We do about an hour or so with Brett LaBelle, one of the Survivor insiders, every single Wednesday night. And please pass along to your friends. Subscribe. All right, it's at MC Show Digital. All right, youtube.com/MC Show Digital. There's the link. Send it off to your friends. Get them to subscribe. We want to give away some more stuff, including that golf club sooner rather than later. And we need more subscribers in order to do that. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow. Peace out. Take care.